Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Integrated Physics Studies IPS. एथिरे मु ऑलरेडी प्लस टू सेकेंड ईयर सिलेबस कंप्लीट कर सारी एवं मु प्लस थ्री CBCS फिजिक्स ऑनर्स जीई आ MSc फिजिक्स ऑनलाइन क्लासेस रो वीडियोस अपलोड करुच्ची जदि भल लगिला ताले वीडियोस को लाइक करदेव और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करदेव यू कैन शेयर इट विथ योर फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो इट्स कम्प्लीटली फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट लेटेस्ट वीडियो नोटिफिकेशन पाई बेल आइकन को एटी ऑल रे सेट करदेव तापर वीडियोज रो क्लैरिटी बढ़ाई गो टू सेटिंग्स क्वालिटी एडवांस उपरे क्लिक करी यू कैन इंक्रीज द रिजोल्यूशन सबू वीडियोज पाई पीडीएफ नोट्स मु पठेबी जोटा एठी ड्रॉप डाउन लिस्ट को क्लिक करी यू कैन गेट द लिंक फ्रॉम द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स तापरे मोर चैनल नेम को क्लिक कले सबू वीडियोज को मु यूनिट वाइज एच पार सिलेबस सजाई की रखिथिबी व्हिच यू कैन गेट फ्रॉम द प्लेलिस्ट एठी सर्च करि परिबो ओके थैंक यू हेलो स्टूडेंट्स आज रो टॉपिक रे हमें ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंटेशन ए विषय रे पढिबा सो इट इज ऑफ टू टाइप्स गोटे है रिड्यूसिबल आ गोटे है इरिड्यूसिबल ओके सो बही रे याकू बहुत ही डिटेल वे रे देछि आई एडवाइस यू टू मेक योर नोट एज ब्रीफली एज शॉर्ट एज पॉसिबल ओके सो जेतेबेले आमे ग्रुप को रिप्रेजेंट करिबा ओके गोटे एब्स्ट्रैक्ट ग्रुप जदि आमे नउछु ताकू रिप्रेजेंट केमती करिबा जनरली एथि पई आमे कोन करिबा गोटे suppose group 10 nela which is obviously consisting of its identity element and some group elements right acha so ame yaku represent kari pariba by using some matrices like square matrix okay so eti matrix multiplication operation ta satisfy करुथबो suppose जेमति कहली गोटे group नै गला ame having suppose finite order small g okay now let capital T equal to TE, TA, TB and TC be a set of square matrices all having the same order and they are having the property like TA, TB at a matrix multiplication hoji equal to TAB okay that is if AB equal to C in the group G then TA, TB is equal to TC okay so such a set of matrices are said to be a representation of the group okay and the number of rows and columns of that matrix of those matrices of the set T will be called as the dimension of that representation right now the matrices of the set T may or may not be distinct okay अलगा भी हेई पारे अलगा न भी हेई पारे ओके जेते सबू मैट्रिक्स या भितरे रहउची ए सेट भितरे टी ओके माने टी ए टी बी टी सी एंड सो ऑन okay so if the matrices of the set are all distinct there will be one to one correspondence between them okay the elements जोटा अछि ताको भितरे one to one correspondence रहइबो and the set T will be having now the property as two groups गोटे हला G जोटा original group आ गोटे हमर set T and they will be isomorphic okay one to one correspondence हेले हमें देखिला previous class रे isomorphism देखाए okay so ये दुईटा परस्पर भितरे isomorphic property show करिवे and such a type of representation is said to be true or faithful jodi on the other hand if the matrices of the set are not all distinct then এই जो दुईटा ग्रुप G और T they will be homomorphic to each other ଆଉ এই প্রকার representation को आमे कहबा unfaithful representation okay so the simplest representation of a group is obtained by associating unity with each element of the group and the representation is then called as the identity representation okay unity को आमे associate कर देबा okay and this will provide the trivial homomorphism of any group onto the group which contains only the identity and hence unfaithful representation suppose आमे गोटे 2x2 matrix okay याकू represent करिबा as represented by equation 1 जोटा previous class रे हमर थिला section 13.5 रे okay so elements एठी आमे नै जाउछु E A B C D F ओके छटा एलिमेंट आमे रहउछु हला एठी सिमेट्रिक ग्रुप गोटे आमे नउ जाउ ओके सो एठी तीनटा ऑब्जेक्ट अछि प्रोवाइड अ फेथफुल रिप्रेजेंटेशन हियर Okay, is your 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, another representation jodi ame dekhiba of the same group of 3 elements may be obtained by taking the determinant of each matrix, because of the fact that jodi ame determinant ko neki yaku multiply kariba, then we will obtain the determinant of AB. Okay, so this operation reduces the matrices to ordinary numbers, that is plus or minus 1. Okay, thus this representation consists of only two distinct matrices for 6 group elements, and hence yaku ame unfaithful representation बोलिकी कहिबा. Okay, and we note that the identity element jota E hochi group G रे जो identity element टा अछि, this has the property that EA equal to AE, which is nothing but equal to A. एटा आमे starting रू देखुछु for all elements A which are in the group G. And in terms of matrices of a representation, this implies that याकू matrix रे भी लिखे हबो TE equal to TE equal to TA. Okay, such that किंतु condition हला determinant ए TA रो non zero रहिबो. Okay, non zero रहिबो माने non singular आसीबा कथा. Okay, so this matrix equation is satisfied only if TE equal to E. Okay, so the unit matrix, right? Thus, in any representation, the identity element of the group must be represented by the unit matrix appropriate order ର ହେଇଥିବା କଥା. Okay, and since the similarity transformation ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲା similarity transformation will leave you the multiplication property unchanged, same multiplication ରହିବ. ମାନେ suppose ଗୋଟେ define କରିବା ଆମେ t dash বা t prime a which is equal to s inverse t a s, एटा होची similarity transformation ର जो formula टा. Okay, now we will do the multiplication with the primed matrices, that is t dash a t dash b, then yaku put kariba value will find again t dash ab. Okay, so similarity transformation kale भी same result, same way रही format रही हमें result पाउछु. Okay, अच्छा एबे आसीबा जोटा हमर रिप्रेजेंटेशन रो मेन जो दुई प्रकार रिप्रेजेंटेशन, गोटे हला रिड्यूसिबल आ गोटे हला इरिड्यूसिबल. ओके, सो गोटे ग्रुप आमे जेतोले देखुतिला हैविंग फाइनाइट ऑर्डर. ओके, सो इट कैन हैव टू और मोर रिप्रेजेंटेशन. ओके, सो जदि आमे गोटे सिंपल मेथड यूज करिबा, ओके, इन ऑर्डर टू रिप्रेजेंट द ग्रुप, okay, in which the two representation are merely joined into one. Okay, and from a representation suppose t1e t1a t1b and so on, and it has a first representation. Okay, I would a second representation t2e t2a t2b and so on. Okay, so we can thereby obtain the new representation consisting of the super matrices. Okay, केमती हबो एटा देखो ए हिसाब रे हमें सुपर मैट्रिसेस या को डायगोनल रे 1 और 2 को लिखिला, ऑफ डायगोनल को 0 बनेला. ओके, सिमिलरली ए पाई भी डायगोनल रे हम मैट्रिक्स लिखिला, ऑफ डायगोनल को 0 लिखिला, एंड फॉर बी आल्सो. ओके, सो या को हमें गोटे सुपर मैट्रिक्स हिसाब रे कंबाइन करिकी लिखि परिबा. सो a similarity transformation may revive the fact that it was originally formed from two representation. ଆଉ super matrix जोटा हमें ऊपर equation देखिला, ଆଉ those which may be brought to the form of equation 1 by some similarity transformation are said to be reducible. Okay, एई भलिया फॉर्मेट को जदि हमें आनी पारुछु ताले हमें से रिप्रेजेंटेशन को रिड्यूसिबल बोली की कहिबा. माने इन अदर वर्ड्स एबे डिफाइन करिबा, reducible representation can be defined as the representation which may be expressed in terms of representation of lower dimensionality by means of similarity transformation. Okay, अच्छा ताले irreducible कोन, the representation for which this cannot be done. Okay, जदि ये जिनस हमें करि पारला नहीं, माने सब डायगोनल रे आमे जो एलिमेंट रखुतला ऑफ डायगोनल को 0 करतला, ए जिनस जदि हेई पारला नहीं, then it is said to be an irreducible representation. Okay, so it is customary to indicate the structure of reducible representation by block form or some of the blocks which are representing the irreducible representation. Okay, so आमे जदि एग्जांपल नेबा सपोज आमे t को लिखिला इक्वल टू t1 plus t2. ओके, और इन जनरल t इक्वल टू समेशन i सपोज गोटे आमे नै गला एठी गोटे इंटीजर ai ti. ओके, ए हिसाब रे आमे नोटेशन रे मैट्रिक्स एडिशन ए हिसाब रे आमे लिखि परिबा. ओके, सो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट बाय सम एग्जांपल. देखो एठी गोटे एग्जांपल दउची. Prove that the two-dimensional representation of matrices C4, that is एटी टी ए स्क्वायर और ए क्यूब रो मैट्रिक्स हिसाब रे दे देला 2x2. ओके, सो एठी क्वेश्चन पचारुची जे एटा रिड्यूसिबल बोली कि प्रूव करो. तापर कहूची हेंस एक्सप्रेस इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ वन डायमेंशनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन. ओके, टू डायमेंशनल अच्छी वन डायमेंशनल रे याकू एक्सप्रेस करो कहूची. सो फर्स्ट आमे याकू ट्रांसफॉर्म करिबा सिमिलरिटी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन फॉर व्हिच we will take S to be equal to 1 by root 2 into this matrix. Okay, then we can find T dash A, okay, which is this much. Okay, एठी S dash नले S inverse भी लखी पारो किछि असुविधा नै. Okay, so यार वैल्यू एति की पाइला. Similarly T dash A square A cube आउ E हमें पाइ सारछु. Okay, तापरे एबे हमें T dash A करिबा. Okay, T dash A माने एबे हमें कंबाइन करिबा. ओके, सो देखो एटा म्यू रो एटा न्यू रो. ओके, सिमिलरली एठी मध्य म्यू एठी न्यू. ओके, ए हिसाब रे हमें कंबाइन करिकी याकू लेखि परिबा. राइट. अच्छा, thus the given two dimensional representation of C4 is reducible. ओके, reducible कहीं की हला बिकॉज देखो एठी जो हमें सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल T dash A एठी फाइनली हमें एति की रिजल्ट पाउछु. यू कैन सी हियर there is non-zero elements along the diagonal आउ ऑफ डायगोनल टा जीरो हो जाउची. सो एठी ए जो i याको हमें लिखि परिबा t mu a आउ एटा तो जीरो आउ एटा जीरो हैला एठी जीरो राइट. आउ एठी माइनस i याको लिखि देला हमें t nu a. Similarly for t dash a square we can write these elements like this. Okay, and for t dash a cube we have like this, and for t dash e we have 1 1. Right, so ei हिसाब रे हमें जेहेतु लिखि पारुछु. So the given two dimensional representation is hence found out to be reducible and can be decomposed into two one dimensional representation, that is t mu t nu जोटा हमें डायगोनल रे एलिमेंट्स लिखिला. ओके, सेटा गुटे होची वन डायमेंशनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन. सो इन सिंबल्स वी कैन राइट हियर t dash equal to t mu plus t nu. Okay, where the superscript specifies the representation out of several possible representation. Okay, now we will see some of the important theorems on representation. यार proof भी अच्छी, but I will skip it. खाली theorem रो आमे statement टा देखिबा. Okay, any representation by matrices with non-vanishing determinant, okay, jahar determinant non-zero होथबो, is equivalent to a representation by unitary matrices through a similarity transformation. Okay, you can see the proof. Okay, then moving further, proof बहुत ही लंबा चौड़ा अछि. Okay, you can read it for your knowledge purpose. Then we have the second theorem, which is known as the Square's lemma. Any matrix which commutes with all matrices of an irreducible representation must be a constant matrix, that is a multiplier of the identity element E. Okay, then we have theorem number 3. Eta भी गोटे lemma. Okay, if we have gamma 1 and gamma 2, which are two irreducible representation of dimension L1 and L2 respectively of a group G, and if a matrix M having order L1 cross L2 satisfies the relation this much, that is gamma 1 A1 M equal to M gamma 2 A1, okay, for I equal to 1 2 3 up to n. Okay, ताले either एठी दुईटा जिनिस कहूची. if L1 not equal to L2 then M will be equal to 0, the null matrix. और second कहूची जदि a determinant of M एटा not equal to 0 हैला, in which case gamma 1 and gamma 2 are equivalent representation. Okay, so यार भी एठी proof देइछि, you can read it for your knowledge purpose, right? अच्छा, now moving on, we will have the orthogonality theorem. Okay, orthogonality theorem यार भी statement आमे खास करी देखिबा. एठी भी सेही भलिया दुईटा representation कौची gamma 1 and gamma 2. There is a printing mistake here, this should be gamma 2. Okay, they are suppose equivalent irreducible unitary representation of the same group G of order suppose small h. Then orthogonality theorem kon kouchi, it states that the summation over p t mu nu I ap gamma alpha beta j star, which is ap, equal to h by li. Then we have delta ij, delta nu alpha, delta nu beta. এটা হচ্ছে ডিরাক ডেল্টা বা ক্রনিকর ডেল্টা symbol, where the summation extends over p runs for all group elements, that is a1 equal to e, then we have a2, a3 up to suppose ak. Okay, and here li is the dimensionality of the representation, that is gamma I. Okay, यारो भी एठी proof देइछि. Okay, you can read it for your knowledge purpose. Then moving further, देखो बहुत लंबा चौड़ा proof अछि orthogonality रो. अच्छा, now you will read the character of a representation. Character table केमती आमे बाहर करिबा. Okay, so character table माने कोन? एठी आमे यूज करिबा गोटे मैट्रिक्स रो जो डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स थाए. तमे जानिचो diagonal elements रो जोगफल. If we add all the diagonal elements, then that summation is known as the trace of a matrix, the sum of the diagonal terms of the matrix. Okay, and it is found out to be invariant under similarity transformation. This is a very important property. Okay, so this means that the traces of all the representation would uniquely characterize a representation irrespective of the choice of the coordinate system and the basis vectors. Okay, so बहुत गुड़ाए physical application रे याकू हमें use करिबा. Okay, and it is sufficient to know only the trace of the matrices of representation. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ quantity ଏଠି जो हमें define करिबा, that is character in the group theory. Okay, so let us say that gamma be the representation सेटा reducible हे पारे, irreducible भी हे पारे of a group G. Then the character of this representation gamma is the set of the traces of all the matrices of the representation. Okay, माने याकू यदि आमे define कला with a symbol chi, chi ap equal to summation over mu gamma mu mu. देखो mu mu लिखिला माने तमे जानिचो diagonal रे जते elements थाए, for each element the row number and column number are same, तेणु करी एठी mu mu लिखिछि. Okay, okay, row number column number समान अछि. So summation mu gamma mu mu ap, यार वैल्यूटा हला this much, ap being any member of the group. ଆଉ ଏଠି ଯଦି ଗ୍ରୁପ ଟାକୁ ଆମେ এই ହିସାବରେ ଲେଖୁଛୁ e equal to a1 a2 up to suppose ah, ମାନେ it is of order small h, that is the character of the representation, that is gamma, is the set of h numbers, that is gamma e, sorry chi e, chi a2 up to chi ah. Okay, so the characters of conjugate elements in a representation are the same because the trace of a matrix is invariant under similarity transformation जोटा हमें ऊपर देखिला. thus if ap न नेकी हमें जदि suppose दुईटा एलिमेंट नोचु ap and aq are the conjugate elements. Okay, दुईटा एलिमेंट which are conjugate with each other, then there exists an element ar such that ap equal to ar inverse aq ar और gamma ap याको यदि हमें बाहर करिबा ताले ए हिसाब रे हमें याको लिखि परिबा. नाउ टेकिंग ट्रेस ऑन बोथ साइड हमें यदि ट्रेस नोचु, then we are having trace gamma ap equal to trace gamma aq or chi ap equal to chi aq. Okay, so देखिला जे conjugate element नै गले समान ही हमर result बाहर छि character रो. Okay, now since The matrix representation of all the elements in the same class are related by similarity transformation by definition of the conjugate group elements. So the invariance of the traces show that all elements in the same class will have the same character. Okay, so एटा आमे यूज करि परिबा in order to specify the character of any given representation by simply giving the trace of one matrix from the class of group elements. Okay, এই character যদি suppose आमे kth class नउछु of the representation gamma याकू denote करि परिबा chi ck. Okay, further a orthogonality theorem again it can be used in case of your trace जोटा हमें बाहर करथिला matrices रो with your reducible and irreducible representation. Again we can have the orthogonality theorem. So moving further, now let us see one interesting thing. The number of reducible representation will be equal to number of classes. This is a very important statement. Okay, माने number of irreducible representation जदि आमे देखिबा, it cannot be more than or it cannot exceed the number of classes. Okay, and in fact they are always equal. जेते संख्यक irreducible representation रहिबो सेते संख्यक class मध्य रहिबो. Okay, now the product of characters of an irreducible representation. Okay, so suppose gamma I एटा हला गोटे irreducible representation गोटे given group 0 जार order होची small h. Then the product of two classes cj and ck of the group याको आमे लिखि परिबा cj ck equal to summation l a j k l c l. ओके ए हिसाब रे आमे याको लिखि परिबा. ओके फर्दर डिटेल या विषय भी देइची, यू कैन रीड इट. ओके सो बहुत पार्ट गुडा जोटा डिटेल देइची मु याको स्किप कर दोउची. ओके फाइनली we will see the character tables. Character tables केमती आमे तैयारी करिबा. ओके सो देखो for any group जार various representation थाई पारे, so accordingly तार characters मध्य बहुत गुडा थाई पारे. So याकू conveniently आमे represent करि परिबा by a table which is known as the character table. Okay, here you can see here these are the columns. Columns are labeled by various classes जोटा एठी अछि c1 c2 c3 and so on, and we have suppose n1 or n2 n3 माने nk. This is actually the number of elements in the respective class. Okay, तापरे रो को जदि देखिबा एटा होची irreducible representation को एटा शो करूची like gamma 1 gamma 2 gamma 3 and so on. Okay, आउ जो टेबल भितरे जो एंट्री गुडा अछि that is chi I c k माने एठी रहउची जेमती chi 1 c1. Okay, like here chi 2 c3. ओके ए हिसाब रे हमें कैरेक्टर टेबल तैयारी करछु. सो याकू तैयारी करिबा पई किछटा रूल अछि. ओके सो से जिनिस को देखिबा. ओके इन मोस्ट simple cases of physical interest it is possible to work out the character table by inspection with the add of few simple rules. Okay, so number 1, the number of irreducible representation is equal to the number of classes of the group elements. Okay, जोटा हमें देखिला ऊपरे. So the number of classes may be obtained by computing the conjugate elements with the add of group multiplication table. Then number 2, the dimensionalities that is Li of the irreducible representation gamma I, okay I for irreducible, are obtained by the fact that summation Li square equal to small h which is the order of the group. So in most cases physical interest यदि हमें देखिबा this has a unique solution as the identity element of the group must be represented by unit matrix. So the trace of the matrix of the identity class is simply Li. Okay, so this determines the first column of the table that is chi ie which is equal to Li. Okay, for one dimensional representation suppose suppose like totally symmetric, identical or invariant, each group element is unity, and we can then fill the first row by chi I c k equal to simply 1 ଆମେ ଲେଖିପାରିବା ଓକେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ରୋ। ତାପରେ 3 ନମ୍ବରକୁ ଯିବା। 3 ନମ୍ବର ରୁଲ୍ କହୁଛି the rows of the character table must be orthogonal and normalized to the order h of the group. Now with weight factor ଏଠି ରହିବ nk ମାନେ number of elements in the class, okay, that is ck. So we can write here summation k chi I ck chi I star ck and k equal to h delta ij, okay. And number 4, the columns of the character table must be mutually orthogonal vectors which are normalized to h by nk, that is याको आम लिखिपर समेसन l chi I c k chi I c l, ओके ये स्टार अच्छी इक्वल टू h by n k डेल्टा k l। आई जो रिजल्ट आम देखु जदि आम सब्स्टिट्यूट करदेला I इक्वल टू j ताले इट विल गिव यू द ऑर्थोगोनालिटी थ्योरम जोटा आम देखुला इक्वेशन 5a रे, okay. So we can choose the characters of different classes, that is ck or cl, right. तापर फिफ्थ रूल को जिबा, the elements in the ith row follow the relation, that is this one nj chi I cj n chi I ck equal to li summation l a j k l chi I c l, okay. I think मतलब लागुची एठी n k हबो, okay, printing mistake may be मतलब लागुची से जा भी हो। So the result यदि आम देखा first 3 rules usually suffice the work out of a character table, but the last 2 often facilitate for the verification, okay. So एथिपाई आम गोटे एग्जांपल भी नहीं परिबा गोटे डायहेड्रल बा d3 ग्रुप, okay, जोटा होची ग्रुप ऑफ इक्विलेटरल बा समबाहु त्रिभुज ट्रायंगल। So d3 ग्रुप consisting of 6 elements जोटा हमें देखुतला previous class रे e a b c d f represented by equation 1, okay. So there are 3 classes of this d3 group जोटा हमें पाउतला c1 equal to e, c2 equal to a b c and c3 equal to d f. So obviously it must have 3 irreducible representation, suppose हमें याको कहला gamma 1 2 3, okay, having dimension suppose l1 l2 l3 respectively. Then rule 1 हिसाब रे l1 square plus l2 square plus l3 square should be equal to 6, okay. So the only possible solution with integral values of li, मन रखो li रो value integral ही रहिबो, okay, because the dimension टा सबले integer हुए, okay, fraction हुए नहीं, is now possible value केमती बाहर करिबा is when the two of li's are equal to 1 and the remaining one equal to 2, गोटे रो value 2 हम बाकी दुईटा रो value 1 हबो ताले एटा possible. So the order of li's in the E material, okay, and hence we may conveniently choose l1 equal to l2 equal to suppose 1 नेगला l3 equal to 2 नेगला, okay. ताले एबे आकु बढ़िबा first row of the character table याकु आमे बाहर करि परिबा very easily by writing unity for the character of each class, okay. Unity लिखिदवा सबु जेते class रो character पई, and this corresponds to identity representation, okay. And since the matrix for the identity element E is just the unit matrix in every representation, its trace or character is nothing but li, which is the dimension of the representation. So this will give you the first column of the table, this one, okay. तापरे since the dimension of representation are 1 1 2, the first column must contain 1 1 2 and the other elements of the character table may be found out accordingly by the orthogonality relation, and we are here with the final character table of the d3 group, okay. एठी देखो क्लास गुडा अछि, okay, c1 2 c2 2 c3 माने एठी जो c1 एठी n मल्टीप्लाई हेजी n रो वैल्यू n1 रो वैल्यू एठी होची 1, तापरे c2 n2 कैपिटल n2 रो वैल्यू एठी होची 3 because it consists of 3 elements. तापर C3 रे N3 मल्टीप्लाई होइछि N3 होउछि एठी नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स केते 2 आउ रिप्रेजेंटेशन जोटा इरिड्यूसिबल एठी तीनटा हेबो गामा 1 2 3 अकॉर्डिंगली फर्स्ट कॉलम 1 1 2 हैला चेक करिवो सेकंड आउ थर्ड कॉलम एठी 1 minus 1 0 and 1 1 minus 1. Okay, so this is all about the group representation which I have taken from one book. Now this I have taken from another book, okay, about the group representation. एठी भी या विषय रे आहुरी डिटेल वे रे देइछि. Okay, so this is also for your knowledge purpose. देखो reducible irreducible representation याकू कहला आउ फर्दर याकू एग्जांपल गुडा देखि भी मध्य ए बही रे बुझेइछि. Okay, so you can read from this book also, and finally you can make your note accordingly. the quality गुडे स्कॉट्स लेमा भी अछि ऑर्थोगोनलिटी थ्योरम सेम जिंस. Okay, so এই বহিରୁ ବି ତମେ ଆରାମସେ ପଢ଼ିପାରିବ. You can make your note, and I repeat, you should make your note as brief, as short as possible. Okay.
Thank you.